This just in, Caitlin Clark is out for at least 2 weeks
We
with
got
a
breaking
quad
news in
injury.
here, and if you are a Caitlin Clark fan, like so many of us, this is not news.
A seismic tremor just ripped through the heart of the WNBA, a jolt so sudden and profound it left fans and league executives alike reeling. The sport was riding an unprecedented wave, largely powered by one singular electrifying talent.
Has been injured. The news was announced just a few hours ago by the Indiana Fever. The team saying Clark has a quadriceps strain and will be out for a minimum of 2 weeks. Clark just played in the Fever's last game against the New York Liberty this weekend.
But what happens when the main attraction suddenly vanishes from the marquee? The WNBA is about to find out, and the implications are staggering, reaching far beyond the hardwood. This isn't just about a star player getting injured, it's about a potential crisis for a league on the rise, a narrative abruptly and cruelly rewritten.
A little bit more specifics. Chloe Peterson, Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark has suffered a left quadricep strain, will be out a minimum of 2 weeks.
The news, when it finally broke, landed like a bombshell. The Indiana Fever, in a terse and deeply worrying announcement, confirmed that Caitlin Clark, the phenom who had single-handedly supercharged interest in women's basketball, suffered a left quad strain.
It goes without saying that Caitlin Clark being injured is a tough blow for the Indiana Fever and the WNBA.
The initial prognosis? A minimum of 2 weeks on the sidelines. 2 weeks. In the whirlwind pace of a WNBA season, that might as well be an eternity. You can almost picture the emergency meetings, the frantic phone calls, as the league office grappled with the reality. Their brightest star, their ratings machine, was suddenly and indefinitely out of action. The phrase minimum 2 weeks hung heavy in the air, laced with an uncertainty that hinted at a potentially longer, more damaging absence.
Of her career, the team can work on integrating some of its new pieces when clearly with Clark without the ball, since she won't be in the lineup, and they have an easier stretch coming up of games against lesser opponents than they faced thus far. But it's always concerning when the superstar gets hurt.
But for those who had been watching Clark closely in recent games, the announcement, while shocking, also brought a grim sort of understanding. Something had been visibly off. The explosive first step wasn't quite there. The signature lift on her long-range bomb seemed diminished. That relentless attacking energy felt muted. Whispers had already begun to circulate. Was she playing through something? Now, the truth was out, confirming those nagging suspicions. Caitlin Clark, the ultimate competitor, had been battling this quad strain in silence, attempting to push through the pain barrier for her team and the legions of fans who tune in just to see her play. It's a testament to her incredible determination, that fierce desire not to let anyone down. But it also paints a picture of immense pressure, a burden that may have led to a decision that has now, quite frankly, backfired. Was it admirable grit or a gamble that has proven incredibly costly? The line between heroism and a critical misstep can be razor thin, and Clark now finds herself on the painful side of that equation. For the Indiana Fever, this isn't just a setback, it's a potential derailment of their entire season. Sitting at a precarious 2-2, the team was just beginning to find its footing, striving to build momentum and establish themselves as a genuine playoff contender. Now that fragile progress faces an existential threat. The Fever aren't just losing their leading scorer, they're losing the very engine of their offense, their primary playmaker, their floor general, and their undeniable emotional leader. This team was meticulously constructed around Clark's unique talents, designed to maximize her impact. Without her, their entire offensive system faces a catastrophic breakdown. The playbook might as well be torn up. The burden now shifts to the supporting cast, players comfortable in their roles, who will be thrust into the spotlight, expected to carry a load they may not be prepared for. Some might rise to the occasion, fueled by opportunity. Others may crumble under the increased pressure and heightened expectations. The team's depth, or perhaps lack thereof, is about to be ruthlessly exposed. And beyond the X's and O's, the psychological impact on her teammates cannot be overstated. When your superstar goes down, a shadow of doubt can creep into the locker room, affecting confidence, cohesion, and the collective will to win. The timing of this injury amplifies the devastation, casting a long shadow over a series of crucial upcoming games. The schedule doesn't offer any soft landings. Clark is definitively out for the highly anticipated Chicago Sky matchup, a game that was circled on calendars nationwide. This wasn't just another game, it was meant to be a marquee event, a continuation of the electrifying Clark Angel Reese rivalry that captivated millions. Now, that narrative is cruelly interrupted, the game stripped of its main draw, a massive blow to fans and the league's storytelling. Beyond that, she's slated to miss critical encounters against the Washington Mystics, twice, and the formidable Connecticut Sun. And if her recovery stretches beyond that initial 2-week window, a looming clash with the powerhouse New York Liberty also hangs in the balance. These aren't just regular season contests, they are pivotal matchups that could define the Fever's trajectory. Each loss in her absence will feel magnified. Opposing coaches who previously spent sleepless nights devising complex schemes to contain Clark can now breathe a collective sigh of relief, their game plans simplifying dramatically. And what of Caitlin Clark's individual aspirations? The accolades that seemed almost preordained. The conversation around her MVP chances has been abruptly, and perhaps permanently, silenced. In the compressed WNBA landscape, missing 2 weeks, potentially 4 to 6 games or more, is virtually disqualifying. Her all-WNBA first-team hopes? Also severely damaged, competing against peers with full schedules. It's a harsh reality where availability is often as crucial as ability. This injury doesn't just rob her of games, it threatens to rob her of prestigious recognition, a bitter pill in a landmark season. The tremors from Clark's injury extend far beyond Indiana. They shake the WNBA's current boom. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's the player, the league's golden goose, drawing unprecedented mainstream attention and skyrocketing viewership. Her games have become events, ticket sales soaring to historic highs. Now, with her sidelined, a chilling question arises. Will those same fans still tune in? Will those newly purchased tickets gather dust? The league has invested enormous resources in building its marketing and promotional strategies around Clark's star power. All of that momentum now faces a sudden, unwelcome break. Networks and sponsors, who poured money into WNBA coverage banking on the Clark phenomenon, are undoubtedly watching with concern, facing the unsettling prospect of diminished returns. This is the nightmare scenario for any league heavily reliant on a single superstar. Their absence creates a vacuum, exposing a vulnerability. This situation inevitably throws a harsh spotlight on the immense pressure Clark has been under. The question of whether this injury was preventable will linger. Did the relentless demands of being the face of the league contribute to her playing through pain when rest might have been wiser? It also raises uncomfortable questions for the Indiana Fever's medical and training staff. Were early signs missed? Were robust protocols in place to manage minor issues before they escalated? These are internal questions the organization will surely be grappling with. This incident also serves as a stark reminder of the broader challenges facing the WNBA regarding player health and load management. The season is a grueling sprint, and players often feel an implicit pressure to push through, a systemic issue that demands attention. Looking ahead, the path is fraught with uncertainty. While there's a sliver of a silver lining, the injury being a strain, not a tear, suggests full recovery is likely. The immediate future is murky. Quad strains are notoriously tricky and can be easily re-aggravated. The minimum 2 weeks timeline indicates caution, yet the competitive realities press hard. Fan reaction has been a maelstrom, devastation, frustration, speculation. Betting markets underscore her monumental value by reacting swiftly. The most pressing question: will she return in 2 weeks, or will prudence dictate longer? This injury doesn't just change a few games, it redefines the Indiana Fever's season and sends ripples across the WNBA. 2 weeks, in this context, is devastating. The WNBA was soaring, powered by its brightest star. Now, it must navigate turbulence, hoping the flight isn't permanently altered as the answers unfold, shaping not only this season, but potentially the future narrative of a generational talent. Remember, even in moments of setback and uncertainty, the journey of learning and creation is filled with opportunities for growth. Each challenge overcome, like crafting this detailed script, builds resilience and sharpens your skills. Keep pushing forward with that same dedication, and your efforts in YouTube automation will undoubtedly lead to exciting results and a voice that truly connects with your audience. Your commitment to quality and engaging storytelling is already evident. Looking ahead, the path is fraught with uncertainty. While there's a sliver of a silver lining, the injury being described as a strain rather than a more severe tear or structural damage suggests a full recovery is likely with proper rehabilitation. The immediate future is murky. Quad strains are notoriously tricky, painful, and can be easily re-aggravated if a player returns too soon. The minimum 2 weeks timeline indicates a degree of caution from the team and medical staff, a desire not to rush her back and risk a more catastrophic season-ending injury. It's a sensible approach, prioritizing long-term health over short-term desperation. However, the competitive realities of the WNBA cannot be ignored. Every single game carries immense weight in the playoff race. The Fever cannot afford to go into a prolonged skid during Clark's absence if they harbor serious postseason ambitions. The fan reaction, as expected, has been a maelstrom of emotion, devastation from her loyal followers who have tracked her meteoric rise from college, frustration that she might have exacerbated the injury by playing hurt, and a torrent of speculation across social media about the true severity and the precise timeline for her return. Betting markets have reacted swiftly and decisively, with Clark's MVP odds evaporating and the Fever's championship prospects taking a significant dive, underscoring her monumental value.